Hey, what's up, everybody? Made it to the Sphinx. We're on the back side here. I wanted to show this side especially because standing where I am right here, you can see the level of erosion on the back of this thing. On the top is very, very eroded. And there's huge blocks up the hill, up the causeway in front of the second pyramid. I'll call it the second pyramid because the official name, the Khafre pyramid, suggests that Khafre built it, but I don't think so. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Anyway, see that little grate down there at the bottom? You could go down under the Sphinx. And I think, supposedly, we hope we're gonna go down under the Sphinx tonight. Tonight we go 2 hours inside the Great Pyramid, this one, and then 2 hours inside Khafre Middle Pyramid, and then 2 hours in the Menkaure Pyramid, this one. Those chambers are really cool in there. Each one has a passage that kind of goes down, up, different topology to each one of them. But the Sphinx is one of the most mysterious objects in the world. The erosion on here and the erosion on the blocks in front of the middle pyramid. Robert Schoch, geologist from Boston University, thinks that it would take 80,000 years to erode those boulders. So when people talk about pre-cataclysmic, they're usually talking about pre-9700 BC or 11,700 years ago. That's when there was a cataclysm. We know there was. Graham Hancock suggests it's a comet or a meteor that broke up over North America and broke into a bunch of pieces, and it spewed all over the North Atlantic, and it went as far as the Middle East. So it was a massive event, and it caused a climactic change, and it was around the end of the last ice age. So if that was a culture around at that time, it got in big trouble at that point. And now we're starting to think that there was a civilization that was advanced 80,000 years ago. And that is way, way outside the common archaeological story that we've heard so many times. And seeing some of the stuff that we just saw, I just went down what's known as the Persian shaft. It's a shaft that is halfway up this causeway, right about there on the causeway. There's buildings on this side over here, and there's a tunnel that goes down like this under the causeway, which is this kind of walkway or road that goes from the second pyramid down here to the Sphinx. And you go down these like a little slope, and then you go down about a 10-foot ladder. You walk forward about 10 feet. Then there's about a 10-meter ladder to another platform. And then you look down this shaft, and it's about 60 meters of ladder. And so a bunch of our group just went down this shaft. And at the bottom of this shaft, in this little room, there's all these little alcoves, just like you find in Cusco, Peru, and in temples all around Egypt. And there's a basalt box. And I'm not calling it a sarcophagus because these boxes that we find, including the one inside the Great Pyramid, was not to bury some person. They were energy devices. Now, how they work and what they were doing, we don't know. But the precision level on this box is insane, and it's made of basalt, which is a volcanic rock, and it's super hard to cut. I'm gonna go into my usual mode now where I go like that. Most of the time you see me out here, I'm like this. So hiding from the sun, I'm gonna go for it. It's pretty fun, I have to say, to be able to go live. I don't know who's watching right now, but how's it going, everybody? Where are you? I love asking, where are you right now? Putting in a photo, you get bonus points. I'll definitely love your photos if you put photos showing me where you are right now, because I still can't get over the fact that it's like Star Trek, that I can look at a picture and talk to you live. Thank you, technology. Meanwhile, there's some crazy ancient technology right there, because this thing is so much older than the supposed age that they say, which is 4,500 years ago, around the time that they built the Great Pyramid of Giza. Great Pyramid of Giza is actually taller than the middle pyramid, but it's lower in elevation. This one over here is up on a hill slightly, and so it seems like it's taller. But the Sphinx was dated by Robert Schoch, geologist from Boston University, brought here at first by John Anthony West, who unfortunately passed away just recently, but he's a very amazing pioneer in dating the Sphinx. And Robert Schoch conservatively said he thinks the Sphinx could be 10,000 years, because there's not enough rainfall in Egypt in the last 5,000 years to cause the level of erosion that we see on the top of the back. Now, all the bricks that you see here are recent reconstructions. Many different people worked on this, including Khufu and Khafre, the folks that they attribute to the Great Pyramid and Middle Pyramid, because there's a stele, a giant stone, looks kind of like a tombstone, sort of, with a lot of hieroglyphs on it, and it tells the story of restoring the Sphinx. So the Sphinx could have been here for a very long time, and the pyramids as well, and people found them and decided to, hey, let's build a city. And I don't know how much you can see back there, but Cairo is dense, and it goes all the way up to the Giza Plateau, and then everything beyond that, everything behind me, is pure desert with no buildings, and it's just open sand, basically. But from the other side of the Sphinx, where there's, you know, fast food and tourist shops, going that way, you've got Cairo, which is currently sitting at 28 million people. It's the third largest city in the world right now, and they think that in 10 years, Cairo's gonna be the largest city in the world. So if you haven't been to Egypt yet, and you wanna come check out the Sphinx and come check out the Great Pyramid, this is a good time, because it's still pretty darn easy, even though it's, you know, there's traffic just like anywhere, but I think it's gonna get considerably more crowded around here. I'm gonna just flip the camera around, I think, and just show you where we are. I'm gonna walk down the side of the Sphinx here. That's Great Pyramid. Menkare's the small one in the back. How's it going? Say hi to everybody. Everybody's so sweet here. So there's a fence to stop people from going through this part, because they want you to get a ticket and all this here. But maybe I'll take you guys as far as I can down here towards the Valley Temple. Valley Temple is this temple at the base of the Sphinx, and it has some of the most amazing joints between 50-ton granite boulders, perfectly seamed together. Some of the finest construction technique that you can see in the world, on par with the Osirian Temple in Abydos, on par with Ollantaytambo in the Sacred Valley of Peru. Hopefully I can get in. I think I see Zach. Zach is an amazing archaeologist and is one of our guides on this Resonance Science Foundation trip that I'm on right now. Resonance Academy. And hopefully Zach is going to be able to hook up a ticket. We're going to get tickets?
I don't know, but it's amazing.
Zach can... Oh, we don't need tickets now? All right. What's up, Zach? You have to wait for everybody here?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yes.
Can you tell my friends on Facebook that I'm streaming to something about this? What do you... Just give them a little nugget?
Yeah, we're in Giza Plateau, actually. And Giza Plateau is not only the three pyramids, by the way. There's many things still need to be revealed at this site, including the temple that they call it the Valley Temple that we're about to visit now. A Valley Temple, they say that it's the place of the mummification. We can say yes and no. The main idea of the Valley Temple is just to concentrate a type of energy that we call it negative green energy. It's a dehydrating energy. And this is what the ancient people in general, actually, especially ancient Egyptian, they used to mummify. It's not only the mummification materials, but also the type of energy that we call it negative green, that is everywhere around the place, that we needed actually to hit the mummy to dry it. So it's very necessary while you are walking in Giza Plateau to pay attention that there is a type of energy that is still negative, needed at this place, and try to avoid it. And the main idea or the main sensor that you need to use to figure out if it's negative or positive, it's yourself, your consciousness, your awareness. So it's very important to be aware and to be open while you are touring around Giza Plateau, not only to look at the pyramids, but to look about what's behind the scene. Thank you.
Nice, thanks, Zach. Right on. I want to see that corner seam. Check this out.
Run it.
هيطلعوا برضه هنا ولا كله من هناك؟ الايه؟ كله هيخرج من هناك ولا
لسه مش عارف هنشوف. Gentleman is asking me that are we going to exit the same way because we are doing the other way around.
Oh, right. We're going backwards. Yeah, I had same thing happen to me last year or last time.
Always do it.
Yeah, they're like, don't go backwards. I'm like, yeah, but everybody went this way and I'm late. I stayed back to take pictures. Oh, I love it in here. Look at these blocks, you guys.
Also the technique of cutting the stones and why they make it this way.
No problem. Yeah, there's that seam. Oh.
It's again to deal with the type of vibration energy. They don't want it to be stuck. So they make the cutting of the stone in a way that to match the energy that we cannot see it now, but we still can see the effect of this.
Wow. Check this out, you guys. Why would you bother to make your seam do this? How challenging is that? And any Spanish speakers? Some Spanish commentary. Whoa. Look at these columns, you guys.
That's the doorway out. Oh, interesting.
These folks were not messing around. The cuts on this place are amazing. Look at that wall. No problem. We could have used small bricks, but it was easier to use the big ones because we had some sort of technology that made mass less massive. And we could plasmafy the rock and we could cut it however we want. And it doesn't matter. We just add little bits in there and fix all the seams, no problem. Oh, you want giant tall columns? Yeah, we got that. No worries. And what are these little niches for? Were there columns here before? Was this to hold water? Was this something that would charge and have electricity running through it? I mean, why?
La Sfinge è una statua scolpita nella roccia, non è costruita. All'origine era una roccia nel posto su cui è stato usato. Come l'occasione di scolpire la Sfinge? Il faraone Kelle, quando arrivava doveva fare
Tour groups.
tutti e tre devono essere sulla stessa asse, così per legarle con una strada salita.
No paintings.
We made it just in the right timing.
During the course of painting, we utilize how we want the stone, all the pyramids here built by local limestone, like that one. Le figlie di nostri erano sempre coperte con la sabbia fino qua. Gli animali della zona, le persone, i bambini, toccavano il viso. La parte più debole del viso sempre il naso e la faccia. Il naso tanti che si utilizzato la tassa a finire, la barba tagliata in 3 pezzi. 2 al magazzino del giudizio e un pezzo al perecino della barba. Le 2 pezzi al perecino della barba.
That energy came out from the pyramid during the disaster, because I believe it wasn't affected in a bad way with the original during the original time. No, it was affected badly later when the amount of energy was without control, okay, uncontrolled. So we have all of them lost their final smooth touch except one. The only one who still have the good touch is that one, the black.
I'm telling you.
You guys are on it.
This is the only one. And we used to say for years that because this is harder material. And you must understand that we must update our knowledge all the time. No, it's not harder. This is harder. But why? Because always, and I think you may know this in a different way, that if someone small will fall down, will cause like small sound. If someone big will fall down, will cause big sound. So this is harder, so this responded better and more with that destructive energy because of the crystal. This one have very less crystal, so it didn't respond, it didn't receive that energy as much as this. So this one was a better magnet than this. So this one was destroyed more than this because of the less energy. Okay, so you are touching something with less energy. Let's go this way. So now it's our time to see the Sphinx.
Iron ground, it's good iron ground off.
So hot. Sorry.
The real life.
Right. Oh, okay, okay. You're back in bed.
Follow me.
I don't realize, I don't know what's going on. So part of me has no idea.
They have
Bien sûr, c'était le temple, c'était ensablé carrément avec le sphinx.
So again, I want you to see that what I'm talking about design. This starts here and goes all the way inside all the curves.
So you will see the Sphinx in eastern side.
That is again one of the strange designs of the place.
All the way around. Ooh, mysterious door.
Look, the biggest alabaster blocks inside.
What? Whoa. I've never been told to look through this little hole. That's new. Nice. Thanks, Mohammed. How big is that one? That's a good 20 tons or something.
So you can see, Jamie, you cannot see the separation. If it is smooth, you won't see it. Now we see it because someone smashed this area, but see?
Yeah.
Nothing, almost nothing.
Yalla. Yalla, yalla. Okay.
Puoi fare una foto con il
E non c'era nessuno da che parte. I know you.
You know me?
Yeah, you come here before?
Yeah, in 2017.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you.
Много про поводу, что вы
I had
عشان لسه هنحتاج شكرا لك. غفر العيد بقى يلا. Come this way.
أنا صار مستنياك.
a lot of programming. Yeah. Opening of the
You don't have to tell me.
Great Sphinx. Yalla, 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 yalla.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Live from the Sphinx. Maybe we could have Robert say something. He's taking a picture. Robert, you want to say something on this? I'm actually streaming to my page right now.
Well, let's see. I would have to say this has been the most epic week so far of my entire life. I don't know, what would you say, Jamie?
I mean, the discoveries have been coming at a fast pace.
Incredibly fast pace.
Robert is very observant, let's just say.
Well, we just discovered a big omega showed up on the side of the Great Pyramid that I'd never seen before. And I think looking at the Last Supper last night and also the Mona Lisa, we found a ton of new stuff that none of us had ever seen before. So I think we're sort of passing through some sort of something right now. And I think I understand now what the term eyes that can see means in the year 2020.
And going like under the Maidum pyramid was pretty awesome.
Epic. And I have to say this.
And Shaft 17.
Shaft 17. So I have to say this. Jamie absolutely crushed his presentation this morning.
Oh, thanks.
So happy for you.
That was really fun.
So proud of you. You did such a great job.
Nassim Haramein is not on this trip, so I did the little mini Nassim condensed download to the group, you know.
You know what? I've never seen you actually give that presentation before. So
it was a subsection of a subsection, you know, like you're playing through the real book and you do it in a different order and you tune it differently and you do Middle Eastern scales over it, you know.
I can't wait to see you. I cannot wait to see you present on rotational symmetry. Mathematics.
My next big challenge, you guys, is to try to figure out how to explain what Robert's work does the way that Nassim has his work. Like, I've learned how to really distill Nassim's work, but distilling Robert's work is going to be a serious challenge because it's very mathematical, it's very specific, very precise, a lot of memorization to be able to rattle off constants and stuff like that. But I'll get there. I got to practice. I'm in training. I've been in training. Oh, and here's Robin.
Photobomb. So I've gotten pictures all over.
I work with Robin also. I work with Robert and Robin at Crown Sterling.
Yeah.
Come on in, Adam.
So I just looked.
Oh, and I work with Adam also at Crown Sterling.
Hey guys. Family.
We're on my Facebook right now.
We love
and then there's David and Andrea.
Come on in.
And
Susie. And my wife Susie.
Here's Susie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 5D.
5D.
All right, so we'll be going live fairly soon from Resonance Science Foundation page. So check out Resonance Science Foundation page. And we'll also be going live from Robert Edward Grant page. So check out Robert Edward Grant on Facebook and Instagram. And we'll be going live throughout the day and tomorrow. And till then, as Nassim Haramein would say, may the vacuum be with you.
May the vacuum be with you.
Okay, much love, everybody.